I have a soft spot in my heart for derpy-looking units, and while I shouldn't criticize the artists, they did a great job, I think, of realizing the vision of the Moonbird. It must be said that it is a little bit of an ungainly-looking creature, a little bit mean-looking. Oh, yeah, look at that. Menacing, perhaps, but here, when I saw Double Moonbird from Right Up Rohan in this replay, I knew I needed to take a look. He's got some rockets here, fire rains, some Jade Halberds, and Peasant Long Spears, a couple of Jade Lancers, 3 in fact, and the Double Moonbird with Miao Ying to heal them. Against them is Dark Elves. Got Lokier Fellheart here, a couple of Manticores up in the sky. Oh, that Dark Shard just getting nuked by missiles. 4 Reaper Bolt Throwers, a lot of artillery there, some Harpies. Yeah, the regiment around Harpies, Black Ark Corsairs, Caster somewhere, maybe hidden, I don't know. Anyway, couple of Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows also hidden here in the woods, gonna get immediately spotted. But yes, Moonbird. Non-AP stats are alright. 50 melee defense for flying creatures, not too bad. Only 40 armor though, and it does have this little AoE damage effect, which, you know, AoE damage effects tend to be very strong. This one is alright. Let's see if Ryder Rohan's able to put it to good use here, but immediately that artillery going to be landing. It looks like Dark Elf might have forgot to bring a caster, which, you know, definitely been there. But that massive artillery immediately just nukes the Fire Rain rockets, absolutely blasts them, exploding their unit models and routing them off. And that is going to be a pretty decisive blow. It'll force Ryder Rohan to kind of advance here, but we do get a nice pitched aerial combat between the Manticores and the Moonbirds. 2v2, the Moonbirds are more expensive and just have better all-around stats. Should be able to prevail pretty handily in this matchup unless they get real bad RNG. But yeah, Lancers charging in the front there. As the Corsairs move in, some Repeater Crossbow fire landing nicely, doing some very solid damage to those Jade Lancers. They're going to get an Earthblood and then pull away, try and stave that off here. We are on Conquest, of course. Neither players captured the objective, so it's just a land battle right now. But Jade Lancers try to get back and start to shut down some of that artillery. This one did manage to get on the Repeater Crossbows, but took so much damage in the process, they might actually just rout there. But Miao Ying, meanwhile, on the back line, watching as her Moonbirds defeat the Feral Manticores. Pretty rare you'll get a clean engagement like that, but definitely Moonbirds showing their value there. Manticores, honestly, used to be one of the best monsters in the game. Now probably one of the worst. They kind of went from being one of the worst to one of the best, back to one of the worst. Yeah, Manticores in general, I would say Game 2 for a long time they were very good. And they're still cheap terror, but just they haven't gotten any buffs for ultra unit sizes, haven't gotten any weapon strength or HP buffs to help them kind of compete with ultra size units. So they're basically working on Warhammer 2 balancing even still, which is not great. But Murderous Prowess kicking off here all across the map. That's going to give a nice power spike. Those Black Ark Corsairs up to 45 melee attack. With that extra +8 bonus versus infantry, puts them well over 50 effectively versus these Jade units, which are going to be taking a beating as a result. Still plenty of Bolt Throwers online as well, despite the best efforts of those Jade Lancers. So let's see what the Moonbirds can do in the back line, chasing some of these Dark Riders around. Jade Lancers as well, hanging here. The Lokier go after Miao Ying, quite yet individually, but definitely could tangle with her. Has great combat stats on foot with anti-infantry. Definitely would outclass her, although he does have about half the amount of HP, so maybe not, actually. That HP difference is pretty significant, even though Miao Ying looks like a foot character. She's actually, you know, like a giant single entity monster, just stuffed into a foot character size package. At least when she's not transformed. That's the Moonbirds here going after these Repeater Crossbows, doing some nice damage. Do get Manticores coming back from rout, coming to help defend. The remaining Bolt Throwers here just kind of bypasses the Moonbird, goes straight for those Jade Lancers, trying to terrify them away, which is going to be effective. So even though the Manticores can pay for themselves in any real meaningful way, at least a little bit of tactical value here, helping to protect a little bit longer. Look at that Moonbird, though. Nice charge from the Moonbird. It's going to take a big heaping of volleys while it's finishing off the Manticore. Point-blank shots from those accurate Elven Bolt Throwers will do quite a bit of damage here, although not all the units focused, actually. That one, I guess Moonbird was maybe in the minimum range momentarily, but yeah, those Bolt Throwers definitely going to continue to be dangerous. Let's see here. Lokier chases some infantry. At this point, it's pretty much just Miao Ying and the Moonbirds. We are going to see the AoE damage effect, though. Pretty solid, as these Dark Riders just try and control the objective here. Yeah, the Harpies also. Technically, the Moonbird's AoE damage affects flying units, so the Harpies flew into that area of effect, ended up taking massive damage and immediately getting terrified away. Absolutely beautiful, but definitely in a late-game situation like this, when you have some blobs forming, that little Cyclone ability, I don't know, I haven't come up with a good nickname for it yet, but definitely seems like a little Cyclone. Not quite the Flaming Phoenix species of the High Elves, but, you know, we'll take it. Jade Lancer's also getting rear charged by Harpies here. Again, the Moonbird right in the middle of the Harpies activates its Magical Vortex. That is going to do some very significant damage. Gets on the Reaper Claw Bolt Thrower crew as well. The other Moonbird dives down into melee, immediate tear route on the Crows of Cain, and with the Bolt Throwers now being shut down, Meow and the two Moonbirds doing quite healthy. The balance power is not really favoring Dark Elves too much. But let's fast forward a little bit here. As Meow heals the Moonbirds a bit. Needs to sustain the fight. Pretty soon they're going to move over to the objective. Pop another AoE damage ability. The question is, can Rider Rohan win or capture the point before his opponent wins on pickets? I think probably likely to do so, although I don't know. I guess Lokir gets some good RNG here. We know his stats are better than Miao Ying's, even if he has a lot less HP. As long as he continues to get good hits and RNG, he actually fights her. Right now it looks like they're not actually in combat with each other. They're just staring at each other menacingly. Oh, there we go, a little attack animation. Yeah, Lokir will have a little bit of an advantage in, again, attack, defense, weapon strength, but man, that difference in HP, especially with Miao Ying being able to heal herself. I guess Lokir does also regenerate, assuming he has the... he does not. Oh, he does. Helm of the Kraken, yes, replenishes in melee, so would be able to heal a little bit of HP there with that, but yeah, not a lot. We'll continue fast-forwarding as the Moonbirds and Miao Ying run down the Bolt Throwers, make sure they finish them off. The one Moonbird is pretty significantly damaged. You can see Lokir taking a few swings there. It is getting close to its healing cap. But more AoE damage there. And I don't know, maybe this is a little bit of desync. I'm not really sure exactly. These Blackheart Corsairs might actually have been routed and not totally present in the battle. Or maybe they were here. I don't know. But maybe a little bit of tactical reserve. It's definitely possible. But the one Moonbird does get routed off. And the Reaper Bolt Thrower also is going to rout. Yep, yeah, as soon as its ammo runs out, Dark Elves are like, well, that was our chance to win, and they just rout. Yeah, I forgot to cast her, which definitely would have changed the outcome. Even just Spirit Leeching those single entities over the course of the battle definitely would have helped a bit. Hard to say it would have been decisive, but yeah, I'd like to say the Moonbird actually did pretty decently. Oh, 2,000 damage value, pretty much a little bit over average between the two of them. Miao Ying didn't do too much besides heal, but that's generally what she's here for in a build like this. Jade Lancer's also one of them, gets some nice value chasing some artillery crews and going after those skirmish cavalry. But overall, Corsairs traded pretty cost effectively. The Bolt Throwers also, I would imagine, got some pretty nice value. Yeah, shooting at some targets. I guess not maybe as much value as I would have expected, to be honest. And of course, we're still able to pay back a little bit despite their early blasting there, but overall, yeah, I just didn't have quite enough sustain to deal with those two dreaded Moonbirds. And actually, especially the healing synergy with the Moonbirds, it seems quite good, you know, for Cathay in certain matchups. The fact that you can kind of control the battlefield, use that leadership damage, you know, as long as the Moonbirds don't have to fight any truly scary single entities, like against maybe factions without quite so many scary monsters. I don't know. I think about Bretonnia. I think they'd probably just get railed by Grail Knights. Yeah, Empire also get blasted by guns. Same with Dwarves. So maybe actually take that back completely. But I don't know. I don't know if they're necessarily optimal in any matchups, but I would have to play around with them a little bit and see. That Moonflare seems like if you get good contact with it, that, you know, like any AoE damage, like a breath attack or something else, if you get good hits with it, it'll pay for itself pretty easily. But without that, might struggle a little bit more. But yeah, 50 melee defense plus healing is definitely something to consider. hopefully you enjoyed that. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.